It's 80 years since the historic World Fair in Paris brought to the attention of the world the atrocities taking place in Spain during the country's civil war. It was one of the first times that artists had taken a political stance, graphically depicting the bloodshed on Spanish soil. Now a new exhibition in London by Spain's Mayoral Gallery commemorates that moment in history, as Vanessa Cuddeford reports.
In May 1937, Paris hosted the World Fair. 44 countries took part. Artworks in Spain's pavilion gave the Republican government an opportunity to take a stand against the rise of nationalism back home. It was here the world first saw Pablo Picasso's Guernica, his most powerful political work, depicting how fascist Italy and Nazi Germany bombed a small Basque town.
The response of the public to the exhibition and to what they saw, the press clippings there, was quite positive, quite good, because they were able to see what wasn't being shown in places like France and places like Britain, where the press wasn't covering everything. So they got to see really the horrific things that the nationalists were doing.
Spain's pavilion in 1937 has gone down in history as one of the most important artistic achievements of the 20th century. This exhibition, Art Revolutionaries, commemorates that. They've recreated the entrance to the Spanish pavilion here, and all of the works on the walls are by those artists who took part. There are works by Pablo Picasso and Joan, as well as international artists such as the American Alexander Calder, who supported the Spanish Republicans' democratic cause.
So this is a 1974 work by Alexander Calder. It's called Crag with Yellow Boomerang and Red Eggplant. In the Spanish Republican Pavilion is one of the first times we see Calder experimenting with standing mobiles. A standing mobile is a sculpture that has a standing base that's not movable and organizes the mobiles around.
So we can really see the link then with what he did in 1937 to this later work.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's a complete link in technique and influence. This is a really important work for the exhibition. It's work by Pablo Picasso, Head of a Woman. It's very linked to Guernica in some elements, such as the eye over here that links to the eye to the horse, and the teeth that links to the teeth of the soldier in the painting, and the palette, which is in the same kind of gray, white, black. So this is the 1937 famous lost work by Joan, the work that he would have participated with at the Spanish Republican Pavilion. It's a mural that represents El Segador, the reaper in English, the Catalan peasant in revolt, fighting back against nationalism and for democracy and the Republican alliance.
And what's so interesting is that the original would have been in colour, but you've got it in black and white because no one knows what those colours would have been. Absolutely,
exactly. So there's no colour representation of or photograph of the original work.
It's not only art on show here, but also original newspaper articles and propaganda from Spain's pavilion, all of which were trying to get support outside Spain for the Republicans. It's often said that history is written by the winners. What's fascinating about this exhibition is that it documents the losing side. 2 years after the Paris World Fair, Spain's Republican government was exiled, making way for 36 years of General Franco's rule. 80 years on, this exhibition commemorates people committed to their ideals and their nation, fighting a war in their own particular trenches of artistic creation. Vanessa Cuddeford, TRT World, London.